100,000 goals a game team. And I got dismantled, saying that the Senegalese is going to butter this and butter that. But why? What I'm seeing from the 100 goals team is they are going to score 100 goals, Africans. The only thing is they might concede 98, but that still will make them the winners.
I'm seeing a lot of draws and
we will get the excitement that will take away the bad presses as well. So I think France might be the savior of the World Cup because they're gonna have a lot of PSG moments. 100 goals a game.
Oh, goodness me. It really could be one of those situations, but from there we wait and see. We want to thank everyone for jumping. I realized I put this on a recording and didn't put it live, so it just got onto live just now. So we should be good seeing, because I was like, why am I not seeing the viewer count? I'm like, oh, it's on recording. Anyways, based off of that, you talk about France, right? And some of the other teams. It's match day 1 coming for today. And again, reminder, for injuries, teams have until the day before their first match to replace players, right? I know in Canada, we're watching to see if Bombito is going to be on the roster or not. I know I've seen some reports saying he's made it. I haven't seen everything, but for you, are there any injuries you're keeping an eye on just to see maybe if this player from different teams are fit that you're kind of keeping an eye on to see what will be coming up there?
Yes, and it would be Canada, because when I came off, I really looked at Canada's list and I'm saying, oh, I had them coming third. Oh my God, they might not come third. They might come last if they keep on getting so much injuries. So, so I will have to say, I am watching your Canada. You get me? So Bambito coming back would be a big one. You understand me? That would be a big one because they have some injuries in some areas that I don't think they can really recover, because you can't just say, oh, you have depth. Your depth is to add the value. You have to start with your value players. You understand me? Yes. So I would say that Canada will be one of the ones to watch. And also, I don't know, I'm very sorry, Africans, but it looked like it might be your bad day. The next team is Ghana.
I knew you were coming for me.
Oh my, because I was watching a video and they're breaking down how much of the players are not there. And I'm saying, oh, damn. This is looking bad. So the front three is going to be Salisu, and the others, right? Mm-hmm. So the difference of the squad is going to be ridiculous. What I expected at first is nothing like what Ghana will give you. Ghana will have to play just a spirited game and try to win, or use the fan base to win over. You understand me? I think it's going to be rough times for you Africans. That's all I can say, because those are the two teams I'm actually watching. Like the injury reports. I don't think nothing will help Ghana, because nothing can help them, because those injuries are definitely too severe to get over in 2 days. You understand me? So nothing will help Ghana. At this point, I don't even know if Ghana will beat Panama. So, so let me just watch Ghana and say, turn Ghana into a Jamaican team. Just vibes. Anything we get, it's bonus. You understand me?
Vibes. Just vibes. We have fallen so far to be the vibes team.
Yes, just vibes. Anything else, it's bonus. All right. But the Canadian team, you could say that they're a structured playing team. Coach is very good, even though Ghana's coach is solid. You know, he never had enough time for him to get it to the level that he wants. But he's a respectable coach worldwide. But I think Jesse Marsh is slightly more the coach that I think can use a normal player to get something out of them. Mm-hmm. That's the good thing, I think, with Jesse Marsh. It's more about his system. I saw him went to Leeds. He did the same thing with average teams and dominate big teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if Canada still pull it through with the injuries. But Ghana, it has to be some vibes, and the guys then build off the vibes and get a result. I am very sorry. All right?
Thank you. And I will just let you know, JD, I was also supporting Germany. So tell me that they are old too and they can't do anything. So just so I can, so we can make it a trifecta, just so I can feel the pain of everything. No, but I think it's valid points. I think for Canada, it's health. And like, yes, you can say you have a depth for Canada, but we are into the depth. Like it's not to say, oh, we can just go call this place. No, we've been playing those people. And so for them, it's just getting healthy at the right times. And matchups for me, I was literally talking to someone this morning and just a conversation of, can we as Canadians play 3 games against teams that will be defensive? Not to say they're going to be fully defensive, but in a sense, do we have the players that can play and not just the transition? Because the transitions where we'll thrive. But if a team decides, no, we're not going to play this up and down game, we're just going to mid block, low block, try to
Mm-hmm.
break us down and go to the point. Like I've said this before for Canada, it's draw, win, loss. That's what I think they have to do to have a chance. I think they need to draw Bosnia, beat Qatar, and then they'll probably lose to Switzerland. But in all 3 of the games, Qatar is a transition team. Bosnia, though they may be young, they're big, so they may be a little bit more on the physical side to say, we're not going to let you run.
Yeah. I
No.
think you have to break down Bosnia, and because they have the ability to
Mhm.
actually pass. Because
Yes.
that's a problem. So they don't have to be in this super transition, wing position, wing transition with you, because that's what, remember, his system is geared to perfect those things, you know. So I'm not going to give you what you're very good at. We saw
Mhm.
it to Belgium.
Yep.
Belgium is one of the best teams in the world. So why am I going to give you it that way? I think that element of surprise that Canada had in the
Is
last World
going.
Cup, they're not going to get it this time. I
We
don't
know who
think they're
we
going
are.
to get it.
Yeah.
They have to beat teams by
Mhm.
being better than that team. That's what
Mhm.
I think this time around.
No, and I agree with you. The surprise wears off when we know this is what you want to do, and they've been consistently that team, right? You can't ignore the friendlies that they had against the Netherlands and France. You can't ignore the Copa America. You can't ignore their other friendlies. They are a transition pressing. Sometimes I call it chaos ball, but that's how they want to play. And as tradition, they will always give up a 1v1 with their keeper because we give it to everyone. It's our gift to the world. And so they'll have to be better into their spots. But we've got a couple people here this morning. I
Yeah.
know for all of you who are calling in sick or taking an extra long lunch today, I respect you. I respect all of you for doing that.
Yeah.
But we got Keyless coming in. Ole, ole, ole. I love it, but it's a fair point here. So many countries with players coming in exhausted, tiring, carrying injuries, and hiding injuries. It's a World Cup where depth will matter. Your depth will matter not just
Yes.
because you
Yes,
have a.
Africans, but you can't start with your depth because that's not depth anymore. That is just the actual starting team.
I have my depth right here. Luke the
Yes.
Fougerolles, he's right here. He's ready to go. He's young. He's ready to go. But no, I think that's going to be, and especially we said it before, the times of the games. Our opening matchup for me in North America is 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Mexico at altitude. South Africa, I love you guys, but good luck. Good luck today. Good luck. But like a
Yeah.
lot of things,
Yeah.
mhm, a lot of those things are going to be there. So I think we're definitely going to put it. So the question is, happy World Cup Day, and who are you backing? You've seen friendlies, everyone. You've seen those teams, and we'll talk. I'll do a quick preview in terms of the
Yeah,
games
yeah.
upcoming
And
today.
we start Odelo so bless up
Yes,
part-time
yes.
Jamaican. I'm not Jamaican blood. I'm done with that time Jamaican. I'm not in Jamaican. I was just born at Jamaica. That's it. I've grown to be a worldly human being. So I'm just a worldly human being. Odelo, but I think the same of you as well. You're outside Jamaica. You're nothing of Jamaican anymore, blood. The fact that you can look at things and analyze it and just be honest to yourself. You ain't Jamaican anymore. You're a worldly human being. So stop with this Jamaican part-time, half-time, quarter-time. I'm a worldly human being, and at this point, I am supporting Belgium because I'm in Belgium, and Belgium is very good at football.
Mm.
Jamaica is very good at propaganda, and that's what I know. So they might need to learn some things from Belgium, and I would like them to do good in life. That's why I try to support them, try to help them to be good at football. But don't box me in blood, all right? Yes, because I'm a Asian as well. I will be watching 80.
You'll be watching Haiti. You'll be watching
Yes,
Curacao. You'll be watching the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Germans. You'll be watching
Yes, and
against France.
remember, you said that the Jamaicans are going to come out and eat on me because I said Haiti is going to get a result against the Scottish. You understand me? And they're saying that Haiti not getting nothing more than a T-shirt.
I prefer towels, please. Towels and memories, please and thank you. Towels and memories.
So they started with the 18 already. Yeah, they getting only a T-shirt. Yeah. But it is what it is. Let me run through the games them that you saw so far and who you were more impressed with or most impressed with. You know?
No, for sure. I think if you look at the games coming through, look, Panama's had an interesting run with their friendlies. They lose to Brazil. They draw Bosnia. I just feel like they're a side that, and maybe this is me in the CONCACAF hat. I can hear Nelson and me telling me like relax a bit. Like no, like I'm never worried about Panama at a stage because they'll always look prepared for that stage. Do they have the talent necessarily against teams more talented? That's where we'll have to see. In CONCACAF, they play Mexico tough. They've beaten the US in two major event tournaments. So coming to the World Series, I don't think they're going to be intimidated, and they get to play in Toronto, somewhere they're familiar with. I think though Panama has a draw, I think in the loss, I think I like how they're looking good. I think another team that I'm
Yeah.
worried about, and Gibbons brings it up here. How are you boys feel about USA Paraguay? You feel that Paraguay can stun the party tomorrow? I think they can. That injury
Yeah.
though that they had in their friendly, it really does dampen my
Yeah.
excitement for them.
Yes, but Africans, just as we spoke about Panama, I told you about the systems team, and
Mm,
Peru is one of those teams.
Paraguay,
Doesn't matter
yeah,
who go on that field, if you're not at your best and you're not playing the system that Pochettino wants, you ain't getting nothing out of the game, blood. You might get a 1 point. You understand me? Or you might lose all of it. Don't. That's why I said maybe Ghana don't get a point. You understand me? Because Panama is so good with their system, they don't rely on talent. So they might just go and bust it up, So the same for Peru, just the same. I'm very sorry. I'm just
You-
telling you, I'm just giving you guys the real facts. You understand me?
listen,
Yeah. So
listen, you
Ghana
sir.
might not get a point. And
As I
it
said,
starts tomorrow.
like I said on Monday, Ghana will make it very easy for me to follow them because we will know on the first game whether I need to lock in and watch, or if I say, you know what, guys, enjoy your tour of Boston, enjoy seeing Philadelphia, and then you're going home. That'll be it. And again, Ghana will be fine, but I just don't like attacking isn't their problem. It's just defending, and maybe Carlos helps them with that structurally. But Paraguay versus USA, do you still think that the hosts take that game, or do you think
No.
Paraguay, even with the injury, they are?
Yes, I think it's going to be a tough game. The
Mm,
only way United States wins that is if they make the game a transitional game to use their scientific stamina that they always seem to turn up at World Cups with. They are more stronger than everybody else. They're running more miles more than everyone else because they did that at the last World Cup. The
mm,
only one can compete with them is South Korea and the Japanese and the Asian people. You understand me? I don't know what they're on. I'm not saying they're on something, but more likely it might just go that way. I'm not accusing them for anything, but you never may know. They are athletes sometimes just do some things that I don't understand. Yes, but yeah. Um, if they don't get that game, which I think Peru has it in them to really nullify them, I could easily well see the points shared. And you know what, I'm going to lean towards the point sharing.
mm.
Even if it's inside America, I'm going with the point sharing.
No, that's true. And I think the interesting thing for that group is somehow we've seen friendlies for that group already, right? We saw USA play Australia. We saw USA play Paraguay earlier at the end of last year, actually, where they won that game 2-1. But Paraguay, since then, they beat Mexico, they beat Greece, they lost to Panama, I mean, to Morocco, sorry, in the March window. And then they just got over Nicaragua. I think this Paraguay side, it's a South American side, so they're always going to be stingy. They're always going to be tough. I think for me, it's just can they play enough and avoid? Because look, as much as the U.S. have been a little bit better structurally with Pochettino, at their core, they're still a transition team. Like that's what they want to do. Like they want to run, right? And so them trying to build out and then try to be methodical with their build up play, it's like okay, yeah, it's there, but give them the ball in transition. They want to live in that space,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I
The
think
whole
that,
theory.
that yeah, so I think for a Paraguay, it's just can you limit those opportunities, right? And so can you muck the game up? The one thing that the U.S. will have in this group is it'll feel very much like a CONCACAF group, right? Paraguay will be very common to them. Australia will be that as well. And then after that, the Turkey game, I think, is the game that they'll look at and say probably technically Turkey is the superior side, right? I don't think we're going
yeah.
to change our predictions from that, but
I
I think
think you're gonna see that. No, you're gonna see CONCACAF versus Turkey.
CONCACAF versus Turkey, just
Yeah, yeah. All of them CONCACAF team, they're just at different location. So CONCACAF versus Turkey, I think you're gonna see that, and I think Turkey's technical ability will prevail in the end, and because I think they have the talent to control the wing
mm,
transition from the United States.
yeah, the
Yeah,
technical
I
ability is
think
always
so.
going to be there for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Odell, I like this question. What do you think of England versus Croatia? Who do you think will win? Possible upset? It depends what you consider an upset. I don't think it's an
Yes,
upset if either
Croatia
team
versus
beats the other.
England, no days
Yeah.
upset.
Hmm. Yeah.
Croatia have been in the quarterfinals for around 17,000 years. From Jesus Christ, Luka Modric, 2 years old. Croatia in the quarterfinals. And he's flashing his ear like Del Piero. So and he's doing it to England. So
Mm.
so maybe he's 15,000 years old now, looking for Noah's Ark, but he's still effective blood. All right. So don't style the old man, and obviously they have other qualities. They are also old as well. I don't know if they think it's a fine wine competition because they have to be thinking this way. Because they don't, they have talent, Africans, but it seems to
Mhm.
just always keep the old players in for too long, And the sad thing, every competition, the old players them still deliver. When we think they're old, they keep on showing that old is wisdom. So
Yeah.
maybe England will get some wisdom blood. Yeah.
Maybe the one thing I'll say about England is names aside, I like the structure of their team. Right? You have speed around Kane. Kane can now roam into the midfield, be a 10, a creative 9/10, probably one of the best in the world, if not the best in that type of space. And then from there, it comes down to if they can be clinical, which I think they have bodies who can, but I, again, I don't think it's an upset one way or the other. I just think that in this type of a World
Mm-mm.
Cup, and I'm just trying to pull up when the game is happening because I think that's going to matter a lot. Okay, 17th. It's taking a minute here this morning, but like I think the time of the game will matter a lot to me because if it's a middle of the day type of
And
a
today's the
game,
11th.
yeah. So yeah, they're playing 4 in the afternoon here, which is it's still hot but still cooling. I think this World Cup might be a young man's World Cup. Not to say that you can't. I think in a game where you're going to see the veterans in those moments where the game has to be taken, right? I always bring up this point in their game when DRC played Algeria at AFCON. There was a point where DRC were just transition bombing going, and then a 15-minute stretch where Algeria just said, no, we're slowing this game down. We're going to see moments like this at this World Cup where maybe they're trying to play fast or maybe they try to play slow. But then it's going to be who can dictate. And a Modric, if you think he's 15,000 years, if you think he was there before the birth, if he was with the wise men coming, bringing gifts and shoes ready to run, I think in those moments, his IQ will be very much needed to pace. And like, I think as much as it will be a transition, I think this might be a midfielders World Cup because dictating how the game is going to be played in that pace-wise, wingers, I think will have great first 20 minutes and last 20 minutes. You can't maintain that in that heat for this long. But I think this will be the midfield. We'll come back talking about the midfielders and how, whether it's a Modric, whether it's a KDB, whatever version of him there. Whether it's a McKinney, whether it's you keep naming midfielders.
Modric,
Who,
just the same.
yeah,
The best dictator of football. I think
mhm,
him and KDB might be the two best orchestrators in football. Same way, even at their
yeah,
age. So I understand that you said it's a young man game, but remember they are doing this thing for so long. Um,
mhm.
I don't even think they have to make two steps based off their knowledge that they do have. So don't kick them out as yet. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good showing. I like these matchups. We see if the youth coming from England can just overrun them. I don't believe that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very good game, and I am not sure if England wins it.
No, for sure. But I think you're looking at your complete team. So, like, I think a team like France, a team like Spain, low key. I know we're not talking Brazil, but like I feel like Brazil is just under the radar enough that we can look and say, actually, it wouldn't surprise us if they came in and finished. But like I think those good teams that have mixes of that veteran savviness, but then that youthful zeal, as I'll call it, I think that'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely make it going for their. Bill says one thing we know for sure: it's never coming home. Listen, World in Motion is a better World Cup song. That's besides the point. Okay, nothing will ever peak John Barnes rapping will never nothing will peak that in my life. I respect England, but they are perennial underachievers. Once they get to the latter start of the stages of the tournament, there, yeah, it's true. True, true. It was funny and sad to watch a Norway friendly where you can see the Heat drain the momentum of the game. The Heat's going to be a thing, right? I have this here on the screen, right? And like midnight game is fine, but 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
Mm.
7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it's going to be look, those hydration breaks, they're going to matter. Those hydration
So
breaks,
so do the stadiums close and they have AC as well? Because some of those
not
stadiums can close,
mhm,
right?
not all of them do. Like some of them
Oh
can
God.
control it. So yeah, you're going to be in the elements for certain. You'll be in the elements for certain. So that's where it'll be very interesting to watch and see how the teams adjust. I think why that's why you have the hydration breaks in. But I think you're definitely going to see but like similar to the Champions League final where Krashkevich, like he's on a break and then all of a sudden you see his speed meter just drop as he's going in the later stages of the game. I think you're going to see that a lot. And when can you call like when substitution patterns are going to matter a lot here as well, right? How quickly they can get players into games. But yeah, I think all the timing there is outside of the Heat, outside of injuries. What to you is the biggest story of this World Cup as it's getting here? Um, whether it's a team, whether it's just a confederation. I put up a poll on my channel to see which federation they think can get closest to the final that's never been there before. Right? I had Asia, I had Africa, I had CONCACAF, and then I had Tim Payne and his friends, right? Because New Zealand
I
deserves
got to go
respect.
with Africa
Hmm.
because I think Morocco have never been to the finals,
No,
and
only
they
semis.
went to the third place game, right? They went
Yeah.
to yeah, so they went to the semifinals, I think. So I think
Mhm.
Morocco. I know that they have not gotten enough respect in Africa, and the
Mhm.
worst of the situation with them and Senegal. But
Yes.
I think that Morocco is actually good. I think because of the situation, they try to take away the credit from Morocco. But I think they're good. They have signed quality additions, so that will help
Mhm.
their actual depth as well. So I think Morocco and Africa confed I'm looking at.
I think so. I think my poll had it at about like I think it was. I'll pull it up in a second here. But to a point here for G Spot Blazing, like we're getting essentially four halves. Hydration breaks are going to kill all the momentum. It's a reset moment for sure. Is it something that people? I'm concerned about the flow of it. I think it'll break it up a bit for sure. But health of the players. Like it's the one time we'll actually look and say, look, yes, I know this is a endurance game, but you can't have people passing out in the 60th minute because they just haven't hydrated well properly. But to your point, I do agree with you, JD. I think probably if it's another confederation who can get close, probably to the finals, you have of the federations, maybe you go with Africa, CAF, because I think between Morocco, who's on the screen there, between Senegal, because contractually I have to say both of them together for legal purposes, between Cote d'Ivoire, who though they had a good win versus France, like they're still a good side. And then I think just playing within that, they'll have the structure. They just have to pick their spots very well. And that's why I back those two teams. But an Asian side, maybe that's intriguing to me, right? Could a South Korea, could a Japan, could one of those sides shock us and get close to it? We'll have to wait and see. But I do agree. Realistically, New Zealand has no chances. They can't keep Tim Payne healthy. I agree. You have to protect Tim Payne at all costs in terms of that. So we have Africa finishing probably we're backing from there. We've talked about things. What else are you looking for in this World Cup? Because for me, I mean, I wanted to see just the vibes. I don't know how many vibes I'll be able to see, but I wonder how much we've learned in North America from 94 all the way to 2006. Like I wonder as general the costs to attend the games is definitely going to affect it, even though people keep telling me the tickets are dropping. The tickets are dropping. But
okay, to how much?
It's now half a mortgage payment versus a mortgage payment. So
Okay.
yeah, so mortgage payment still wins. Okay, mortgage payment still wins.
That's bad, man. That's bad, man. But
I agree.
And this is an American or North American problem, because I saw the NBA games in New York. Tickets that was up for 400 left from 400 to 39,000. The last time I saw, I don't know that's not even a calculation. Tickets that was 15,000 goes to 130,000. They said it's the most expensive event ever kept. You understand me? Because the president is inside. So I think this is an American problem,
I think if you want me to put on my tinfoil hat, I think it's why FIFA got into the ticket resale. Because it would not surprise me if they've made the same that they made for tickets, just because there's more games off of resale value and such. And so I think I have nothing to prove it. This is just pure speculation. I think the resale is what got them in, wanted to do it, right? Because events and dynamic pricing is what is a USA Canada thing. We like event things, and that's where the money is. And so the resale for that, if they can get a cut from the resale from off of everything versus saying like $200 for a ticket, like right now, I think Senegal Iraq is $350 at a site I saw, and that's the cheapest I've seen. And I'm like, am I going to drive to Toronto to see Senegal Iraq? Look, it's the World Cup. You have to say you did it once, but at the same time, it's $300.
Of course. And you have to drive there, as what they said, or you have to take a plane.
Yeah.
So it's going to be $1,000, and you don't get a drink.
True. Not even peanuts. Just
yes. Straight. I don't like the fact that the reason why you're having the events are for poor people, or for normal living people. And then normal living people can't actually support it.
It's true. On the flip side, I'll say, like, my one friend, like Nelson, he's been on the channel, he has a lot of Bosnian friends, and to them, like, tickets price doesn't matter to them. They're in Toronto, right? And so there's a degree of that where, because the demand will always be there. And this is where I think from a numbers standpoint, at this point, they have to be close, because there's no way, based off of extra games, and now they created a ticket service where they get a cut from every resale fee. Well done, FIFA. Get your money and get out. That's what it feels like. It feels like they picked this market to do it. Now, they don't have those issues in Mexico. Like, one of my boys went to Mexico for the IC playoff and saw 2 games and he paid less to see 2 FIFA qualifying games and have a week vacation in Mexico, and it's still cheaper than seeing Canada opening night. Still.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what's up with these countries, but they really truly believe in him. They're hyping him. But
It's yeah. Well, we're North America. When I say North America, I mean Canada, the U.S. We're very much event-based people, and so yes, people will go to the World Cup and be like, "Oh, we'll go to the World Cup," and but the problem is, like you said, it prices out not only the average person, but probably the average person is closer to a diehard fan than that. So
yes,
the environment
and
becomes stale. Yeah.
thank you. The atmosphere is going to be dry because what the problem is, you are just there because you're rich and your father rich or something. Yeah, you
Mhm.
ain't there cheering for your team. You don't even know the team. You're just there making up the numbers. And that's what you saw at the NBA game. They did not have the atmosphere that
Mhm.
they would have expected because you're seeing what's her name again? Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is not going. I give her credit. She was the only one actually putting on some effort. You understand me? But
Oh man.
everybody else not saying anything, and you could see why she put on some effort because she's promoting something.
Hmm. This is
But
true.
everybody else on the side, they spend 3 million to line around the court to not
Hmm.
make a sound. So that means it just sounds like it's the other team's home ground. So
Yeah.
you have to make sure passionate people can get in, man. Give away use some events to give away some tickets. Don't make it look like it's all about money. That's what you just said. You know, I'm not saying they say that it's all about money, but don't make it look like it's just that's the end goal. Because sometimes if you bet on the long haul, you will gain more. Because if you whoop on the opportunities, that's more people loving the game. That's more people into the atmosphere. They already heard that the FIFA World Cup is one of the biggest events, bigger than the Super Bowl. Some people just want to see if it's really bigger than the Super Bowl. So you have to
I
make
mean,
sure you sell it to the people. You understand?
agreed, but I mean, what makes the environment is the people, right? And that's where I think in from a population standpoint, the U.S. makes sense, Mexico makes sense, Canada degree makes sense. There's diaspora galore. You have diaspora galore everywhere. I think the problem becomes when those people can't get access to it because those are the people like look at the Gold Cup that we watched, right? Any game Guatemala was playing was vibes. Like,
Yeah.
did it suck for Canada to lose to Guatemala? Yes, but from a tournament standpoint, Guatemala in the semis, yes, give me more of that because they were there, they showed up, they were passionate, it was affordable for them. That's there at this World Cup. I mean, again, all the other headlines, people not being able to get in, visas denied, the people who'd come to support the diaspora that are here. I, JD, I have got my Ghanaian parents are asking me, hey, did you call the Ghana consulate because they're giving away tickets to anyone in the diaspora who wants to support Ghana? And I'm just like, first of all, I'm busy, but I'm considering this because if I could see a World Cup
Okay,
match,
they're giving it. Okay, I never knew that. Okay, that's
but
good.
like a lot, but like
That's a good
again,
start.
it's a good start, yes, but the fans from Ghana who would have showed up, they can't get in because what they needed to get visa and other things to come into the game. It would have been difficult for them. So I think that's where it's unfortunate to go through. And my screen is still frozen, so we're gonna live our lives here, unless you want to see me frozen, looking like this and looking like a happy person frozen in time. So we're gonna turn this off here for this moment. But the ticket costs are just it's it's going down because I think right now FIFA doesn't want things to look terrible. Because look, Qatar were giving away tickets at the last World Cup, and I know we're negative. We're excited for the ball to be kicked here, but that to me is a very much interesting thing when it comes to what they can do. Yeah, Euros, previous World Cups, you get deals, free transit with tickets, etc. Because FIFA wanted fans, not millionaires, being entertained. But again, if you can make the money off of the resale, I think they're already there. Like I genuinely believe that they're already there. And so because of that, I think it makes it a little bit easier for them to go through and kind of put through. Welcome back in, JD.
Yes, I just pressed the wrong button just a while ago because the back of the phone seemed to be overheating a little, so I had to
No, I hear
move
you.
it. Yeah, but yeah, I'm good. So let me run through the games like who you're looking at first look, who you think
Yes.
you're giving the edge to as it relates to who would win the entire World Cup because we talked about we're gonna have all depleted teams. You have even the best teams, Spain, everyone has injuries, but obviously
Yeah.
that's why they're the best teams because they're the best teams. You know?
Mhm. I think, and I said this before, and I'll stick with this. I'm using, and the logic may be flawed, but this is my logic. I'm thinking a team that finishes in second place is going to make the run and win the World Cup in the group because I think they're going to prioritize. Look, the fact that we're going to 32 teams means we don't need to. There's no real group of death, right? Because in
Okay.
theory, yes, 4 points should get you through. But if you looked at the U17s, 3 points should do it. And that means final match days, you may have a team knowing we have to destroy your confidence, right? Morocco versus New Caledonia U17, they need to win a game by 8. They won by 16. And so I think a team that finishes in second place could push their way all the way because, yes, pathways will happen, but matchups are really what happens. And because it's not as set, it could be one of many teams coming through. So for me, I'm looking at the team that prioritize, hey, we're just going to make it, which is why I think like a team like France or Senegal or even Norway in that group, finishing second isn't terrible because they, based off of where they rank, they may be playing another second place team. And if it's a second place team who is battered or had to fight to get to second place because they want to avoid third place, then it goes. So I'm looking at the teams that finish in second to see kind of what they're able to do. And I think I'm going to back a team like that. So a team that just prioritizes being a little bit healthier versus going through, which is why in my previous I've said, I think Cote d'Ivoire takes that group with Germany. Germany finishes in second, and I think they match up their way all the way to the finals.
Okay,
That's
okay.
where I see like a Germany from that going through
So
because
pretty much you're saying it's because it's not as important to come first than before. Hence why you think that some will down tools just to get over the line to conserve
Mhm.
energy, and then not because you finish first that means you're all good.
Yes,
You can still finish second and still have all your guns in reserve, and you're truly a first place team. You just realize that okay, this sun is too hot. I'm gonna just do whatever it takes to get to the next round, and then we try to give as much in the next rounds, and that will be
yes.
good enough to take us over the line. Okay, okay. All right, you never may know. Some people might come with a strategy because previous World Cups, you know that it's top two, that's it, done.
Hmm.
And after that, it's a ranking, and you're going to maybe meet the Argentina or France in the first round. So you definitely don't want to play with anything. But
Yeah,
no, you can finish second and still get a easier team just the same, you know,
yeah.
because the amount of teams truly in the competition. You might come
Hmm.
second and don't face France or most of them, you know?
No, agreed, and that's where the logic goes. In again, I'm comparing U17s to the senior teams. They're not the same thing, right? And to this point, it's true. The group stage is designed to ensure more big teams make it through, even before the top ranked teams avoiding each other through other knockouts if they win the groups. I agreed. I think there is some value to topping your group, but again, the format is ranking the top the top first place winners, the top second place winners, and then top third place, and then it gets re-ranked 1 versus 32, 2 versus 31, etc. So you'll get some second place teams playing each other, but that's where those things matter to me, and I think you don't need to avoid. Nah, man, you're good. You'll have plenty of opportunities, my man. You're not taking over this chat, right? I'm pulling up the U17 just to give for context. And again, I'm not saying these are the same teams and how this will go, but let me show you guys just the group standings and what happened in the U17s because that's my context for a World Cup for the size of the World Cup, not necessarily the results of the World Cup, right?
Because yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So in the U17s, you had Argentina finish first. They were the best first place team. And then you had all the way down to France, who was the worst first place team in their group. But again, France had a group where everyone finished with 4 points. I feel like there's going to be a group that we got a 4 by 4, right? Everyone finishes with 4, and then there's goal difference that goes through. The runners up, you had Zambia all the way through, and then your third place teams, you had North Korea all the way down to Mexico. In their first matchup, Mexico beat Argentina, right? And so you had 1 versus 32 effectively going through. And if you look at the bracket, right, Mexico beat Argentina. Portugal, who was a second place team, I believe, may beat Belgium, and then Egypt loses Switzerland and things. Canada loses the Republic of Ireland, and then the longer you go into the competition, yes, you had great stories, right? You had the likes of Uganda, you had the likes of Senegal doing things, Burkina Faso as well. But then the matchups you get once you got to the quarterfinals, the U.S. lost in penalties as well. I think the second place teams maybe it's matchup based. Now this one went straight to penalties. There wasn't additional time, and so that also does change it. It was just 90 minutes and then straight to pens. So that could definitely affect how that goes. But to me, I'm looking at the teams that finished in second place. What about you, JD? Based off what you've seen, who do you see winning the World Cup as we enter match day one for some teams here?
I still believe that it's between the two main teams in France and Spain.
Okay.
I heard people trying to sell me on England. England will be more organized, that is for sure. But I just don't believe that they have everything, including the coach and the system, to play what they want, you know? So I just believe that's going to cost them. So I'm going to go between France and Spain. So I'm picking for France to be first place and also Spain being first place as well. And the flip on, as what you had said, because of the groupings, you have, you never may know, they might still get an easy third place team to play in the next round. You know, they might just have a harder one, but that is someone else they will knock off, you know, because I think that once it's not Germany, France, England in the next round, I think they have no problem. I think they're ready to beat anybody, any America, any Mexico, anybody. Spain is ready to beat, and I think that they're going to be good enough to take the whole entire thing.
No, true. To that point, Nelson is back and better than ever, as he says. Ignoring Argentina, are we overlooking the champs, or are we living in just in a space where we don't expect a team to go back to back? Can Argentina go and win back to back World Cups?
You just talked about Croatia, and you gave a kind of back slide to Croatia and said it's a men's game. Obviously, have Alvarez and those guys, but their main leader is from Jesus Christ time, just the same. You understand me? Both of them usually shook hands from Jesus Christ time. So you have to give Messi the same grace, lack of grace as to what you gave Madrid, you know? So that's why I think, yes, he can carry them, but he can carry them so far. You know, I think that this time, is he just going to catch up with him, you know?
True. But do you think them structurally, because again, they've been better defensively, right? This feels like I've said so many things. Like this feels like a young man's World Cup. This feels like a midfielder's World Cup. This feels like a defend and survive and go on to the next round World Cup. Right. France definitely will be more defensive, and it feels like the perfect team to be like, oh, by the way, we'll defend it. And our counter options and our transition options are Mbappe, Dembele, and choose between Olise, Chekri, Ryan, and just the whole thing. I think I can understand why someone might pick Argentina. I can also understand why someone might think maybe they just get beat, but it's a fair point. It's a fair team to have in that conversation, that crosshair.
I think they're going to struggle, Africans. I think they're going to struggle. They're going to come out of their group, yes. But I think any adversity, like even as bad as England is, no, I can't pick England to beat nobody. So let me take that out. If they meet a dodgy good team, like a Germany, you know, that is in transition, I think Germany beats them comfortable.
Interesting.
If they meet a high energy Asian team, they beat them as well, you know?
Okay.
So because I'm watching them, you know, and the tempo control that they had, like what Messi them did to Vardy the last time, I don't think they have it anymore. Because they had a better blend last time. I think that blend is out. I don't think a blend is there anymore.
No, that's a fair point. That's definitely a fair point in terms of what they're able to do there. I think Nelson's going to have his moment to stand up for that, for Argentina, for whatever reason. Group K, I mean, we haven't gone them specifically, but I know we're all talking I'm not me, but what's Portugal's ceiling you feel in this World Cup? Do you feel like it's quarterfinals for them? I know some people are picking them due to some handshakes and photos that, hey, this man will probably win his World Cup in America for reasons. But what do you think the ceiling for this Portugal side is?
Portugal seeding. I watched them. I am not so impressed. Another team that a Jesus Christ character is on as well. I think you have two. But yes, the Jesus Christ character is on it. And he's the leader man, just the same. Much more self-centered than Messi. So where I could have given Messi some blight, I can't give Ronaldo any blight, You know that he wants to be exactly what he wants to be, So I've seen them. They have good energy, but I'm not so sold on Portugal. I think Portugal is going to struggle. Saw them against Nigeria even other day as well, and they seem still to have problems with energetic physicality.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Into the chat, as always, the man who comes in to say something, then dip. But we love him still. Nelson, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. hey, we're working people here.
I just had slander to Argentina's name, and I'm like, I think they should be, in my opinion, they are top 3 in this.
Okay,
I think it's between them, Spain, and France.
Okay,
but we forget that same squad that beat France still exists. Like it's the same exact squad. And by the way,
I'm not hearing him in Africans.
You're not hearing him?
Nope.
Okay, that is interesting.
That's all. I can back me out and then bring me back in. Then maybe that's the case.
All right. Let's see if we can get him. I was hearing him, and you guys, let me know if you guys are hearing him in the chat because I was hearing him quite well. All right. It could be a mobile thing because I know that I've know some issues with mobile where it doesn't go in.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Is it
understood?
Can you hear him, JD, or no?
No. Maybe I would have to jump off and jump back on.
You may have to, but yeah, Nelson can give us points, and because I know that's been an issue with the StreamYard with mobile and then computer is that sometimes you can't hear everyone who comes in. So I know that's a recent issue that's coming through. So we'll see if we can. Let me take you out real quick and then bring you back in.
Yeah.
But Nelson, as you were saying, thanks, Chef, for letting me know.
Yeah, no. What I was saying is, like, if you look at what the squad makeup for Argentina is, I still think this is probably top 2, top 3. Then you add the experience that they have, and there's no way I could put them in the same. I see Spain, France, and Argentina all equal. I don't see one better than the other. I think with Spain, the issue you have is Lamine Yamal is injured, Rodri's injured, and unless those guys get better in that period of by the time they get to like semis, then whoever's less injured is the one that will go through, essentially. But for me, Argentina's squad is ridiculous. Like, I think they have whenever we talk about Mbappe and all of these guys, they have elite strikers as well. Lautaro Martinez, Julian Alvarez. Then you've got Nico Paz, who's been exceptional for Como. Then you look at the midfield, everything from Enzo Fernandez to McAllister's had a poor season, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I still think McAllister is going to be good. Palacios is good. Valentin Barco, who's just moved to Chelsea, who was a failed left back and an exceptional central midfielder somehow. He just transitioned that effortlessly. If you've been following Lo Celso at Real Betis, like it's a really, really good squad, like exceptional squad. And they have Emiliano Martinez, who's exceptional at penalties.
Yes.
Which in this World Cup, it always ends leading to
PK,
penalties. Yeah. So for me, it's a question of squad makeup. And here's the thing: rotations are important.
Yes.
You remember we're talking squad depth?
Yes.
If you're telling me you're benching Julian Alvarez for Messi, is that crazy? If you're saying you're benching Palacios, you're bringing Leandro Paredes, who's at Boca. You're starting maybe Romero and Lisandro Martinez. You bench Lisandro Martinez. You bring in Otamendi. Like the level of players that they have in the country is exceptional, and all of them are winners. They have won this thing before. To ignore them, and the fact that they've only lost like once in 2 years, is crazy. Like they haven't lost a game in 2 years. That's mental to me. I'm always going to pick. And by the way, I agree with what Max had said for the Portugal. I think Portugal are overrated. Yeah. I genuinely can see them get knocked out in the quarterfinals.
It feels like that's their ceiling to me. Like I feel like the quarterfinals for Portugal is their ceiling, not because they don't feel like. I feel like they're a team that are better when Ronaldo is not playing, because then you're just like, oh yeah, they can play. I'm not going to compare him to Jordan Ayew in that sense, because I think that's an insult to both. Jordan was never at that level, but like I look at Ghana, for example. Ghana just wants to be they have the pieces to be a transition team, and then you look and say, oh, there's Jordan. I look at this Portugal side and I'm like, they have all the pieces to be great in transition, to be great on the ball, but they have this human being who's kept himself in great fitness for this World Cup. But it's not even 35-year-old CR7. This is 41-year-old CR7. I feel like he's an anchor to them moving.
I also think the forward line isn't as good as people think it is. Like Gonzalo Ramos doesn't play for PSG, barely plays. Then you have João Felix, who's an Al Nassr, failed wonder kid. Then the guys that you'd be betting on then is Rafael Leao, who had a poor season at Milan. Then you have Conceição, I can't pronounce Conceição something. Conceição. He's okay. And then Trincao I actually rate, but again has never played at this level. So you're talking about a forward line that is, people are looking at just the midfield. The forward line is shocking. Like they genuinely are. Cristiano's too old. Cristiano doesn't perform well in terms of he doesn't help them defend. He doesn't help them attack. Like he's only waiting for that cut back to score.
Yes.
That's it. That's the only thing that he's and that'll beat mediocre teams. But once you get to the higher level, then I think it changes.
Then the levels are there.
Yeah. But the midfield is ridiculous.
For sure. Yeah. JD, are you hearing or no?
Yes, I'm hearing him. Hoping that he's hearing me as well.
Okay.
I can hear him. Yeah.
Perfect. Right. Okay, everyone's hearing each other. So any thoughts on those comments there, JD, for you?
He literally said he's going with me on the Portugal one, but for the Argentina one, they don't lose any game over the last 2 years. They came in the last one, if I'm not lying, they didn't last a game for 3 years. And he lost the first game. You understand me?
True. Yeah.
So we can't really use the amount of years that they have not lost games. You understand? You have to look at how they're actually playing. And what I've realized, remember, Messi is the master of Messi and Luka Modric. They are the master of dictating paces. I've always talked about ball retention players. Even the last time we were talking about Cherky and how good he is at doing that. I think Messi's ball retention have really dropped. And you said something about Ronaldo, but I think it goes to Messi as well, because Messi need to be on the field and you have to get the best out of Messi naturally on the field, because without you playing through him, Nelson is a liability, and it makes their system sometimes predictable as well. It's just because before he was so good, better than everybody, it's predictable. You just can't stop it. You know, I think no, you can nullify others around Messi way easier. So that's why I'm saying I am not giving them championship talks. I'm giving them, okay, if you make it back to the semifinals, I can say it's expected. But after that, I think they're going to have their hands tied. I think anybody they go into the semifinals with, France, Germany, Spain, even England, they are going to be the underdogs in.
But you know, let me tell you why I disagree with you. In the last World Cup, Argentina were they had the most rotations during the World Cup. The first games they started with Martinez, then they benched him for Julian Alvarez. Then Di Maria was good at the beginning, then he got injured, and then they benched him. Then if you look at that midfield, they played Enzo Fernandez, Rodrigo De Paul, and then McAllister. Then they benched McAllister, brought in Paredes and Gomez. I genuinely think, and they have the same coach, right? So the whole assumption would be that Argentina will do the exact same things they did in the first World Cup. In the last World Cup, where what they'll do is if Messi's poor, they'll remove him from the squad and play the guys who will do the running. Because there's no way they're not playing Nico Paz or not playing Julian Alvarez or Lautaro Martinez. And they're obviously going to start with the front three or at least two up top. Because they played either 4-3-3, 4-4-2, or 3-5-2 in the last World Cup. I genuinely look at that team and go, there's no weakness in that squad. And if you're saying
Nelson, I like your optimism, but Messi's in America for a reason.
Did you have Argentina winning last World Cup?
Yeah. Our players are in the channel.
So if you had them winning in last World Cup, you're thinking 4 years later, who was their best player last World Cup? It wasn't Messi.
Messi was their best player, just the same, because he did it in all the moments. Don't talk about Alvarez. No, listen to me. You can't ask me a question and then I answered it and then you're bullying me, Nelson. It doesn't work, Nelson. For me, it doesn't work. I said Messi was the best player because Messi did everything when it matters. When Croatia playing, Messi was the unlocker because nobody else. Vardial had one of the best tournaments until he met up with Messi. I never wanted to give him the credit, because I never wanted him to get the medal at the end, like the main man, because I knew it would have go back to the Ballon d'Or. I knew that they would have scammed everything after for the Ballon d'Or, and I knew it would have cost anybody that he's running with. So I never wanted that. But you have to give him his credit. He was the one that was dictating pace in every game, and I'm telling you, I don't think you respect dictating pace in football as though I do. I think that's a master of football. Anyhow, you can control the pace. I think people obviously have to know football to give it the credit, and he was the pace dictator every game.
I can't understand how you can say he's a pace dictator when he's a forward. The pace dictator in that team was McAllister and Paredes if they played. The midfield was the pace dictators. There's a reason why that midfield. You talk the Croatian game.
My God! Messi was dropping inside, picking up the ball. Nelson,
I let you talk. Let me speak. When you look at that team, that midfield is the reason why they were able to handle one France, one Croatia, because of the midfield. If the ball doesn't get to Messi, it's not like they were throwing long balls at him. They were consistently bypassing that midfield. That Croatian midfield, no single team prior to meeting Argentina was dominating Modric and Perisic. No one was. It was until McAllister and them showed up that they started dominating it. The attack, I'm with you. The attack part, Messi controls the attack part. But Messi isn't deep in the midfield. So for me, the midfield...
You don't want me to jump in because I had the kryptonite to slam him Africans. Because when the game started, my boy was getting advantage when Messi picked over the right-hand side. When the game changes, when Messi gets right behind the actual defender, the midfielders, them. So when he drops right on the deeper line, that's when the game changed. So you can't talk about McAllister. He was actually playing attacking midfielder in the game and then drift wide to get on the player. And that's how he gets to unlock one-on-one with Vardial. So you can't say that because they started in a position, that's where they ended up. Don't play with me, Nelson. This is what I do, Nelson.
Wait. No, I'm with you. So you're telling me Enzo Fernandez didn't dictate that game. You're telling me
no, I never said I never said they never played. They're a role player. Nelson, they're a role player. Yeah. When you have star Nelson, the role player have to play its role for the star to fulfill it. The man was the star, Nelson. And this is the first time I'm going to give Messi credit. He was the actual star. Maybe previous Barcelona teams, I would agree with you that they gave him more credit than what he truly deserved. Because I thought that most of the Busquets games, he was the anchor for those games. And Messi take all of the damn credit. You understand me? So I agree with you. But in this one, I thought that he was the one that dropped off because he had a moment. He was struggling when he dropped into the central forward position. Can't touch the ball. He had like 15 to 20 minutes. Had 2 touches of the ball. Go back and look at the stats. 2 touches. It's when he dropped deeper to make the 3 diamond in the midfield and then drop off wide right. And I'm saying he can't beat Vardiel because Vardiel came in and he was the biggest thing. And everybody saying, even me, I was hyping up Vardiel because I had him as one of the sensational young kids them at 20 years old. I know what Messi did to the man and did to their deeper line was ridiculous. And that's why I said he's still the pace dictator, even though he was playing majority of the time on the top of the midfield third to the attacking third. He was still a pace dictator because he had to pick up the ball in those pockets and still made decisions after. So what I could agree with you, if they did pass the ball to him with the final touch and then he had to just do something, then I would say that they were the pace dictator, Nelson. No, he had to decide the game after getting the ball, even in the attacking third, and also on the edge after the end of the midfield third. So I can't agree with you, Nelson. So you can hold a point, but I'm telling you, go back and watch that game, and you're going to come and give me credit.
Here's the thing that you're completely discounting of what I'm saying. You can literally go and check his heat map. Messi's primarily his play was on the right wing. Primarily, you can open up SofaScore right now and you can check.
Yeah, but I just said that, Nelson. I just said that to you.
Let me finish. Enzo Fernandez, Paredes, and McAllister. Eventually, I agree with you. McAllister started moving forward in like the attacking midfield role. But when you look at where Enzo Fernandez and Paredes specifically played, it was deep line. Like when I mean deep, what you mean by deep line and what I mean by deep line is seemingly different. When I mean deep line, I mean you're behind the midfield line trying to thread those passes through. And then Messi's whole thing is he doesn't have a fixed location. He moves throughout the match.
Thank you very much.
So if you're saying he sat deep,
he got stuck testing the attacking midfielder role to change the game. That's what I was saying.
He changed from attacking midfield to what?
He dropped in. Remember when he was in the central forward role because he was roaming, So when he drops in the central forward role, he never touched the ball for like 15 minutes. And it looked like, damn, Argentina might be in serious trouble here. And then he started to drop deeper, then drift out to wide right. So that's where his roaming started to play. So if you said that they were the pace dictator, I wanted them to pick him out regardless of the position. But it's only when he started to drop closer.
How exactly did he not touch the ball when they created 3 big chances in the first half? The first penalty.
Please, no, you can create Nelson, you can create 3 big chances with three touch. But normally, just look how much touches he had with the progression as the game goes on. So once he started to get onto the ball, deeper in midfield, that's when he actually gets majority of the ball. Like he had like 17 touches after that, but he had 15 minutes with 3 touches, and one of them was actually an aerial ball. And you know that he's very sharp. He had to be like fighting for that ball.
15 minutes. Or 50?
Yes, 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes there, and that's when he dropped to the attacking midfielder to pick up. And that's what I'm saying. Remember, we're arguing the pace dictator, to say that if he never dropped deep, even with Paredes and playing so deep, maybe that's the reason why they're playing deeper, to see if Messi can drop a little bit in that space to get more freedom, because he was stuck onto the defenders and he can't get in his space. So that's what I'm saying. When he dropped deeper, he still had to control the ball, turn around, play, link up 1-2 to receive it, to go into those spaces. So I still believe that
what you're saying is Messi's whole game. Like that's
yes, I know. I know, but he wasn't playing that. He wasn't playing that in that game.
Well, give me a second. But one of the reasons why I'm saying, like, whenever you look at how that team plays, every single, by the way, in that game, their best player in the Croatia game, their best player was Julian Alvarez, especially in the second half.
I know. I expected you to say that from first.
But no. Julian Alvarez was the best in that game. I'm talking about in the whole tournament. Di Maria for me was the best player. It's just that he got injured, and then when he got injured, that's when, bro, you can go watch the games. Like
I think I would give Alvarez. Yeah. No, I would give Alvarez the best player in the whole tournament. I think Di Maria was the impact player. Like he had that moment that when he comes in these
matches. You can use different words. I wasn't finished. My part was when you look at that specific game, that's how Messi always plays. Messi always first has to get into the game. If you go historically at Barca, you can see he reads the game. Pep even spoke about this multiple times. He does disappear in game because he has to understand the pace of the game. Once he gets it, he starts controlling. So if you're saying the first 15 minutes he wasn't there, that's pre-Messi. Messi has to find holes. He has to find all of that stuff. But in terms of during that period, that 15 minutes you're speaking of,
yes,
Croatia didn't control anything. Croatia didn't create any chances. They weren't scoring. They didn't look good. Who was doing all that nasty work? It was Enzo. It was Leandro Paredes. It was Alexis McAllister. Those are the guys who were stopping them from doing it. I feel like what you focus on here, or what you focus on, is
say what you want. Don't tell me what I think.
Okay. I'll say what I think you're focusing on.
Don't tell me that I need to stop speaking when you're criticizing me. I am not going to have it with you, Nelson. All right?
You said control of the match. You said control of the match. You're saying control of the match. Wait, can I finish my part of control of the match? Dictating is controlling the match, bro.
Yes.
What is dictating?
No.
What is dictating?
Look, PS dictator simply means the tempo of how the game works. You can be Paredes and have quiet, Nelson. Remember, I go to school for this thing, so relax yourself, yeah? Relax, Mr. Nelson. All right, I go to school for this thing. Well, I want to teach this thing to other people, so don't believe that I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. A PS dictator, people will naturally call a maestro, because what they do is to slow the tempo of the game. So if he drops in the middle, he's the one doing the half turns to lay the ball off and make the final decisions. So Paredes can make 3 square passes between him and Enzo down there, and they're still progressing the ball. But once Messi drops off from the top of in the middle of his attacking third, or from the right hand side, comes over, he's going to make the split pass just the same. So you had 3 different corridors actually running when he's going to make a final pass. So he's still the space dictator, Nelson. Even though you're the man that just bring the ball 30 damn yards up the field, make 3 zonal passes, he's still a pace dictator, because you have 3 different corridors moving. That was the actual plan they had in the whole entire game. But the next 2 guys had to do their job to get it to him. But he's the pace dictator. When he drops off, that's when Paredes has to push forward. Normally, what they would have to do, they have to keep on rotate, recycling the ball below, and you're wondering what they're doing. The pace dictator has to move before they can actually do that, Nelson. Don't play with my footballing intelligence, brother. Don't do it, brother.
All you've stated is what he does in space. I'm with you.
So that's why he's
wait. I let you speak for so long.
You just said what? No, because that is disrespectful.
Let me. No, wait. I haven't disrespected you. I have a different.
I said it's disrespectful to turn around and said this is what the guy does. But I'm saying that's why he actually gets a position for me.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you on the fact that he gets into space, finds space, and then dictates the attacking third. I'm with you on that. But you're ignoring 3 phases of play. You're ignoring, as you said, 3 zones. So you're talking about from defense to midfield, from midfield to attack, right?
Yes.
So unless you're telling me, unless you're telling me Messi was impacting the midfield, that to me is mental to me, because he has never, ever in his entire history gone into midfield and dictated from midfield. The people who were dictating in midfield, the entire World Cup, last World Cup, was Enzo Fernandez, Paredes, McAllister, whoever else was in that midfield. So if you even look at his pass map, I'm even telling what Akwasi can pull it up. You can look at his heat map. He was on the right wing, cutting in consistently. But when you're talking about, this is why I think you and I are having a slight disagreement. For me, an orchestrator is, in my opinion, the person who dictates the pace of the game, as you said. But if you're waiting for him to get the ball in midfield, like in the attacking third, who's controlling the ball at the midfield area? Who's doing that? You wouldn't say, are you saying Vitinha, because Bruno's the one who helps with the attacking part, Vitinha's not the orchestrator? I think that's mental. I think Vitinha's the orchestrator, not Bruno. Bruno's the orchestrator for the attack, not the midfield.
Okay. But that I'm glad what you said. Now we get to the point. I'm glad that we can get to the point. So if you go back and watch the game and you saw that he was absent for 15 minutes, you said he's decoding the game to see where he fits in and everything. So if you saw him drop back 2 times, when you go and watch the game, don't just look at the heat map, go and watch the game. And you saw him drop back 2 times to link the play, and I said maybe that is a structural it's a structural pattern from the actual team. So, and he drops back in midfield. That would have meant he's occupying 2 different thirds and looking out to link plays between 3 actual zones. So maybe you missed that. So, but the problem is you're acting like you can't miss something. So I was just saying, the game is there. So what you may have a lot of things to worry about.
You're saying one thing about me. I can't say anything. Look, in my opinion, the person who struggled.
I never said anything about you. I said you're acting. Acting. I never said you are. I said you're acting. I never accused you of anything. You know, do you think finish up everything, Nelson? Because go ahead, Nelson, because I want to hear you. Finish your point. Finish your point, big boss. I'm not going to interject.
The 2 people who were the weakest in that game was Sosa and the midfielder Brozovic. Those were the 2 weakest players, right? Brozovic, you were talking about Vardro, was a centre back, which would essentially mean Messi was in the attacking third. He made Gvardiol look bad because he was a centre back. So that in itself is why I'm going crazy, because the person who was really poor that game was Sosa, because Sosa couldn't track where Messi was going, because Messi would cut in from the wing consistently. And the spaces that Sosa was lost in were the spaces where Julian Alvarez and everybody else was occupying. So when you're telling me he orchestrated the attack, I'm with you. But orchestrating the midfield, which was the part that was every single person, when they talked about how good Croatia is, no one said the defense. Everybody said it was the midfield. So who negated that midfield?
And you just never saw what I saw from him dropping into midfield after being absent for a while and then picking up the ball, then linking up the play, then start to move to the right-hand side because he had to make his presence felt. So I think that's where may have the disconnect, because I am giving him credit for that, but you said you never saw that. That's where I think the problem comes from.
I said, no, my problem is Messi's whole thing, just like Amula, for instance, are space people. They find space and that's why they all have roaming roles. I'm not disproving that. I'm with you on that. He goes and finds a specific pocket of space and then he implements it. But his most impactful thing is when he's always in the final third.
I got your point. No, it took a while to get to the point. So you're saying he didn't do it consistently,
You're fighting me the whole time. My point was that midfield of Perisic, that midfield of when Perisic would also drop into midfield, by the way. But
because Perisic wasn't always in midfield.
So Perisic, Kovacic, Modric. I don't really count Brozovic, but he was poor that game. But Modric, Kovacic, and Perisic were instrumental in Croatia being good in the Euros, in the Nations League, in the World Cup. If you look at the positions, they were poor. Look at Brozovic. Look at Brozovic's and Sosa. So that meant whoever's on the right wing, and it's clearly not DePaul, right? It was Messi dragging Sosa all over the freaking map consistently.
Okay.
Look,
I'm kind of listening to you. I'm listening to you to see how you evaluate and give your credit to who you want to give it to. Because remember, we're arguing our points, to give who we want to give, right?
I said Alvarez was the most important player this match. easily.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Mm-hmm.
But even the pen, he was like the instrument. My issue with what you were saying is, click on Messi, please, Akwasi, and see what majority of his touches were.
No, but that's the problem. You're saying majority. I never discussed. I told you that majority of his touches.
You see that white orange spot back down there? That's what majority of his touches were.
What you were saying, he never dropped back in midfield, and see this something proves to you. He dropped in midfield.
I'm asking a simple question so that we can go forward. Is that the wing or is that midfield?
We're talking where he was predominant. I had said. What are we arguing here? You can't argue with the placement. I had said, I told you where he did it. I told you where he, look, let me, Nelson, let me stop again and I repeat what I have said at the start before you try to attack. My point, I had said from day one, Messi was absent for the first 15. He's roaming around to try to find a advantage. Then he dropped off to link up the play at the pitch of the top of the attacking midfield. And then he broke out right-hand side to get the isolation with Vardial. And that's where he started to get the advantage, and that's where he started to play. Pull the video back, and you hear I said the same thing. So when you see pull up on the actual list right here, I don't know what we're arguing with. It proved my point that he was in midfield even more than what you are giving him credit for. So maybe what my argument is much more stronger when you pull up this.
Brother, I literally stated,
wow.
I literally stated over and over and over again. A part that you weren't hearing is his entire part, his majority of his play was on the wing, not in the midfield. He does move into midfield. That's what Messi does. He rotates and finds space wherever space is available. But majority of his play was on the wing. My statement was, and by the way, I didn't change this. My statement was the people who played the best were the midfielders, and if you look at the midfielders, were the orchestrators. What he does,
and that was our argument. And I said, I think what he did in midfield, Nelson, was still impactful enough.
That's what we're saying. Then we were arguing the same point. I'm basically okay then. But I still think, if that's a point, I still don't think Messi was
Nelson. And all I've said is what he did in midfield is still effective enough to put with what he did in the attacking area to say that he could be the main man and the main orchestrator of the team. And you said, no, you are going with the man that's pivoting off the centre backs them and coming through the midfield to lay it after him. You think that is more essential because they also block out other midfielders of not playing good. And I said you have a point. I said you have a point, but I just believe that what Messi did, because he was so isolated in the first 15. I thought that when he dropped and hold onto the ball and got even 2 fouls, I think, something like that, and then he started to spread the ball wide, I think it actually freed up a little space. So I thought that you are not giving him credit for those midfield plays. And I thought they were effective to get to where you wanted to go in the end. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, and so that because the temperature is cool, I will tell you.
No, the temperature is fire. There's nothing else.
There is no way I can discredit Messi. There's no way. Messi is one of the best players, if not the best player, at least we'll say, of this generation. I never watched Pele. I didn't watch Eusebio. I don't know how good they were. But Messi is definitely the best player of this generation by a mile. And for me, for me in the last World Cup, it was clear. Their whole thing was utilize Messi in the best parts where he can where he can impact the game. But if you looked at the entirety of their matches, they were never overrun in midfield. They were never overrun in the defense, even though I don't rate Otamendi. I think Otamendi is not a good player. But it was shocking how good he was the entire World Cup. And that's why there's no way, even if I remove Messi from that equation, they still have Nico Paz. They still have Alvarez. They have in that attack? Alvarez. They still have Lautaro Martinez. They have elite players.
No. Let me ask this now, Nelson.
You don't like Lautaro Martinez?
You think without Messi, then win the World Cup just the same?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my God, Africans, please get involved. People in the chat, please get involved.
Are you kidding me?
I
Are you saying
You
I'm
agree
the
with
Molly
this?
in my own show. Listen,
You
Wait,
agreeing with these Africans?
am I?
Click
Oh,
this
so
and
I'm
ask
back
the
in.
people and click this and ask the fans them. That Nelson said without Messi, they still won the World Cup. No, Nelson. Come on, man. Stop this
No, it
foolishness,
just,
man.
oh wait, they scored 3 goals. He only had 1 of the assists. You forget Enzo Fernandez's
Oh, oh my God, but that's not how football works, man, Nelson.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what we're saying. You're talking about a player. Messi's impact is insanely hard to measure in that team. It's really hard to measure. But in the same vein, I could make the same argument that I made with France with Kante, because I think Kante was that impactful for them that I think the defense is going to struggle for France. But I don't see how you can look at Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, that is, Alvarez.
Oh God, Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, that every big chance he missed in the actual World Cup.
So wait, so
you want to say? Obviously, he made good runs. Yeah, he made good super runs. Love that.
Let me ask you a question. I've got a question.
Oh
for you,
my God,
I've got a question.
Nelson, man.
I've got a question because I want to now see how you.
You're trying to know how we gauge football. I understand.
Yeah, I want to gauge. Yeah. So,
but God damn, man, I'm giving him credit for his runs.
Harry Kane, is Harry Kane a bad player then? Because he missed a bunch.
No, he's not a bad player. But I just said I gave Lautaro. No. I said I gave Lautaro Martinez credit for his runs because he opens gaps and drop your actual centre backs them so they can't push up and half percent your team. I love that about him. And most of the times he stays on side. He's very good at that. So, but the problem is he wasn't scoring. So I'm just saying that Messi was doing inverted things that what Lautaro Martinez was doing. But he doesn't get any credit from you for that. They said that is Messi's whole game. But this man is going to get all of the credit. So it confused me. Oh, you're giving him for off the ball movements and stuff, but you're not giving Messi the credit for that. And that's what I was doing, to put it with his attacking presence that he did actually on ball, to say that he was the orchestrator and the best player. And you discredit all of that. But to come around to give Lautaro his biggest credit for his movements. Wow. I love Nelson.
You know what I love is how you misconstrued everything I said. The question was, if Messi's removed from that team, do they still win the World Cup? And I said yes. Why? And the answer is, why is the person who would bench Messi would probably be either Lautaro Martinez or Nico Paz. And both of them are exceptional. So there's I'm not saying that they're the level of Messi. Hell no, they're nowhere near the level of Messi. But in the aspects that Messi doesn't provide in terms of defense, in terms of, because one of the things you did say that I will give you credit for, Lautaro Martinez runs consistently 90 minutes, both defensively and offensively.
Yes, that is true.
He doesn't stop. Reminds me of Carlos Tevez. So if you ask me, are they still a World Cup contender without Messi? Yeah, because that means you're saying Messi skews Argentina so much that they are basically a semi-final team with him, and without him, they're basically useless. Which means
I'm saying, the system that they perfected over the 4 years is much more of an inverted system. That's why Lautaro works so good, because he used the opposite of the inverted. So Messi plays Messi doesn't play a winger role for Argentina. He plays a central forward role. Which is what Lautaro so that is true. You understand me? Yeah, because he's playing inverted. And then Lautaro comes in and play the striker role and everybody behind him. So that's why he flourishes so much, because what Messi does works inverted to what he does. You understand me? So I think they perfect that system and let him go. Like he's the person that comes on to say, let me unleash him.
I've got a follow-up. For Inter Milan, Lautaro Martinez plays as like a second striker. The target striker is Marcus Thuram. When they play
Thuram is the main striker, yes.
Thuram is the main striker. He plays as a shadow striker, right? So if Lautaro Martinez can do the exact same things that Messi can do for Inter, not at the same level. We're not saying it's at the same level. I hope people don't get that. I'm saying Lautaro Martinez can do what Messi kind of does, nowhere near the same level, but still impactful. Because Inter Milan are a very, very good side. So if you're talking about he can do that, Nico Paz, by the way, who, if you wanted to use the left-footed argument, Nico Paz can play on the right side and invert as well. He wouldn't be at the same level of Messi again, but these are two. Nico Paz, if I'm not wrong, was one of the best players in Italy last season. So if you're talking, so if we're talking about two of the best players in the Serie A last season and cannot impact Argentina to get them to, at the very least, the finals, I think that's really ignoring how good those players are individually.
And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, Nelson. But look at what you just said, Nelson. This is where I'm going to stop it. You just put two players and you explain the roles that Messi did in his own one body. So you are explaining my point for me, you know. You get me? Both of them, and you literally said both of them might not do each one of the roles, individual roles, as good as him. And he's one human being. So that's all I'm saying. Maybe when you take him out, you have to use multiple people to do that, and then the retention of the game won't be as strong for Argentina. So when they want to half-court press, it might not close down as easy. And remember, he has an aura about him as well, Nelson. So he drags more than 1 to 2 people. Paz Latorre ain't doing that at that same rate. So with his actual ability and his aura, I think we have to look at that. But this is a discussion that Mr. Nelson, you're growing as one of my favorites. I like to war. So I need you to turn up, because you talked the other day about France, and France go and score 1 billion goals. So believe me, Mr. Nelson, I have to run now because I have to pick the kid up. But Nelson, I need to war with you. I need to know when you're coming. Not African set me up. But I need to know. I need to plan for you. I need to plan for you, because I smoke him today, but I never give him 100% smoke. I need to plan for him.
if you have to plan for me, then you can't.
No. Because you plan for me. You have the luxury to be in the chat here.
I hope you understand something. I didn't even know. Akwasi didn't say he was going online. I just saw him online and I joined. Okay, but
you still had the luxury to hear what I had to say, Nelson. Stop trying to pick the
I only had the Argentina argument, and I literally said, yo, you can't just ignore Argentina.
Okay. Well, I want to believe you on the screen, and then I come on after, and then we're arguing, and then when you lose convincingly.
Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed our second hydration break.
Okay, yeah. But I'm going to pick the kid. So what games are you guys going to do? Africans.
I have most of the African games, and then all the
Are you not watching the Mexico game?
I'm going to be on a different stream for that one. Someone invited me to go onto their stream for it, so I won't be there for that.
Yes, and I am not going to be available for today and tomorrow. I have to keep the kid today, and then tomorrow she have a final dancing thingy. So I have to go with that. And then Saturday now I can really start ramping up, and maybe I will do 2 games on Saturday. So whatever game it is, not England.
I'll come to your stream.
All right. No problem. Because I like when people talk football, because that's what I really want to do, and people can learn from the conversations, them, not just, So respect again, Nelson and Africans. I'm going to run now, yeah?
Yep.
All right, respect and thanks. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I just stayed out of it, but no. But
you just went on mute.
I literally did, because my screen froze. So I was just like, I don't know what's going on with this. But, it's the whole thing. But no, I'm gonna be here, guys, as well, every night 9 p.m. Eastern, just doing a quick recap and then loading guys into the final matches of the day. So we can kind of do recapping there. But yeah, you'll see me multiple times, multiple days. Nelson, I know when you see me, you have the green light. So we'll do that. But yeah, this is
so today we have the Mexico-South Africa game.
Yes.
And then are you gonna tomorrow's obviously the Canada game.
Yes.
Are you gonna go live on the Canada game?
I'll go live for the Canada game, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about the South Korea game? Is that gonna be too late? It's 10 p.m.
Well, that's the thing that we were trying to gauge, right? Do I do the late games, or do I just do even if I'm halfway through the late games and kind of vibe it out from there? Because I think 9 p.m. every night, just to recap the day that was, talk about the games, and then either we'll go into a good game and be like, hey, get onto this so we continue, or it's not. So 9 o'clock feels like that perfect time frame to recap and then get into the nightcap games and see how they're going from there. But we're gonna do that every night. So every night 9, because some games start at 9 and then some games start at 10.
Like tomorrow, the US games are 9, right?
Yes.
With Paraguay.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, for us, 9 p.m. Eastern. We should.
9 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, you'll see it come up here. But no, yeah, today we just want to vibe out, talk about the World Cup a bit, and then give last predictions.
Did you provide who you think is going to be winning the World Cup?
I still am sticking. I didn't give a specific team.
Okay.
I'm going with a team. I'm going with a formula, which is I'm looking at a team that finishes second in their group, and I think they can make a deep run because we don't need the top two. Everything gets re-ranked, so I think you might end up with some big names in second place. And I think
100%, I think so. I think the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think from there, that's where we'll have teams that'll drag their way all the way into the World Cup. Again, like last time, I used the U17s as a reference point, not as how it'll break down, but matchups matter. And so because
100%.
Yeah.
But don't you think that, because either way, that's why I thought you should do the bracket thing.
Yeah. No, yeah, we did
and
the bracket
actually
at the
with
beginning,
back
but
to,
then we did a bracket on Monday, but then we didn't. We were going to do the continue, but Jay was on the road, so we had to just kind of go from there. Because if not, we would have thrown the screen up based off our predictions and then picked who was going to go from there.
Yeah. Because when I did the bracket, I was actually shocked. That's why I put Spain up. Yeah. Because I looked at the bracket and I went, oh wow, Spain actually get not an easy run, but a lot easier than some other teams. Yeah. If they finish first, we already presume they will finish first either way. So, but when you look at the brackets, it gets really interesting.
Yes,
it gets super interesting. By the way, so yeah, I'm with you. I think you will find, like in the knockout round, some big countries getting knocked out easily. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it again, like we said, it's matchups and it's game and game style. Like I said 3 different things of this is this type of a World Cup. I went with this might be a young man's World Cup. This might be a midfielder's World Cup, picking spots. And then I'm like, but at the end of the day, it's still defense wins championships. Or 100%. Unless you're the Spurs, which choking.
we don't talk about what happened.
I went to bed, Nelson. I was like, they're up by 15 with 8 minutes. We're good. I'm going to bed. Yeah. I wake up. I'm like, why is OG trending? I'm like, he did something. He won the game, didn't he?
But also, I'm with you for defense wins championships. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you watched the USA game. Not the US, the England game.
Yeah.
And I at first I thought England. I looked at the squad, and I look at Tuchel. I'm like, elite coach, good squad that he picked. Then I watch them. I'm like, oh no. This is not. They do not look good at all. They look like they're not cohesive. You can clearly tell. Like, for instance, Rice and Anderson should be the obvious midfield, but they don't mesh well. So it's Kobe and Rice, which, in my opinion, I'm like, that's Southgate's midfield. So should you maybe have taken Southgate's team? Like the whole time I'm looking at that team, I'm like, oh, this is really, really interesting. But I still think England obviously will go deep. They're a good enough team to get to minimum quarterfinals. But
it might be
that gets tricky, I think.
Yeah, there might be a struggle to get there. No, for sure. Mm-hmm. I think once we definitely see the matchups after groups, it'll definitely be easy. The one thing people keep on asking me about Ghana is how well will they do, and as I said, they'll make it very easy for me, because if they lose or draw Panama, enjoy your tour of Boston and Philly. If they beat Panama, I pay attention and I see what they
do. The World Cup group again?
Either Croatia, England, and then Panama with Ghana.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be.
But I still think they finished third. I still could see them finishing third, because even if they draw with Panama, it's a question of how many goals did they lose to the other two teams?
True.
Yeah.
With 32 teams making the knockouts,
Mhm.
it's very much a win
Has
gives
to
you a
be.
shot,
Yeah.
right? And then don't lose by terrible scores. That's where it comes down to.
Yeah,
That's why I think
that's all.
yeah.
Like but I don't think England are going to be Ghana like 3-0. What is they have?
No, I think it's gonna be like a
It's going to be like a 2-0, maybe 1-0.
2-1 type of a
Yeah,
game.
I don't think, dude.
Yeah.
I've watched Ghana's friendlies and I'm like,
Oh, you saw me slowly die inside. Oh yeah.
yeah. No, at first I thought you guys were like super rough on Ghana, and then I watched the friendlies and they look poor. It's like, but like again, friendlies is one thing.
Yeah.
The World Cup would be a completely different thing, but they look very, very, very poor. Like, I don't know if it's a team selection. I'm not sure. Like when they lost to Mexico, did they even play the first team or
No, it wasn't their first team.
Okay,
they had a few players, like players 20 through 29, who were battling for the last 6 spots. But then once they named the roster for the Wales friendly, they named 5 keepers.
Okay.
So, and it was and the rest were outfield players. So you're just like, so this is the roster. Cool. And then Alexander Jiku went out. So they're like, oh, so we don't have our best center backs. Cool. We don't have our best midfielder. Cool. We don't have our best offensive fullback. Cool. Anyone else we're missing? And someone's like, you don't have Andre. I'm like, he doesn't count. Leave him. Leave him out.
You know what was crazy to me is in the Wales game, Nuama looked really good.
Yes.
He actually, you know what? He gave me vibes of Kudus. Like, genuinely gave me vibes of Kudus.
He's not a terrible option as that second midfielder.
As a second, yeah.
The problem is Thomas Partey, whatever your reasoning for or your excuse for why he's not playing well, doesn't matter. He's not playing well. He is.
I thought he's a winger, not a midfielder, Nuama.
Nuama is more of a cam that goes wide, but he's played more outside. But he has cam tendencies. He likes to
because in the goal leading up to the goal, he's the one who isn't he not the one who shot, hit the post or hit the keeper and then
Yerenchi finishes.
Is it Yerenchi? That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, KY and a tree.
Yeah.
Sound, yeah.
Okay, good. I'd call him Yerenchi. Yerenchi. Gotcha. I'm not good with tweet. But for me, the problem I had is this Welsh team isn't that good.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's not this. They've had stronger Welsh teams and they had more chances.
Oh, their defending in that Wales game was, I thought I was watching ushers sending me to my seat for a show. That's like they were just like,
I thought your defense actually didn't ignoring I can't remember one of your center backs. One of your center backs was mental, but
yes, he was ushering.
Your left back was good because your left back really played well. Because Dan James is just pace.
Yes,
and he actually did well against Dan James, like very well in my opinion. And whoever came in after him, I think he did well. But your wingers are, bro. You need wingers. I don't know what happened. Ghana I used to look at your wingers and I'm like, I see Kudus, there was Fatawu and all these guys who looked really good. And all of a sudden, well, Kudus is injured, obviously.
Yeah.
But Fatawu fell off the map.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. I was really shocked. I thought you guys not batter Wales, but at least give them a good game, like how Portugal, Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like that was a really good game. Nigeria, in my opinion, played really well against Portugal. But you guys looked really poor against a Welsh team, in my opinion.
Yeah, the problem was midfield was getting overrun a bit. Yes, I think Opoku did a good job in defending, but JT, as you can see, was just ushering.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. That's him. That was one of the. He was shocking.
he looked like at times I thought he was a church usher, being like, "You going to this?"
I don't think he won anything. I don't think he won a header. I don't think he won like a 50-50. He was poor, like really, really poor.
Yeah, I think the only bright spot is they didn't play Semenyo in this game, and Iñaki only got the last 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Semenyo didn't because I was wondering why your that attack was so muted. Like until Nuama came in, let's be honest, your attack was like non-existent,
Yeah.
like completely non-existent. And I guess Jordan Ayew will be definitely starting for you guys for sure, huh?
Thank you for watching me slowly die inside. It was great. But hey, when Brandon Thomas Asante came on, I was like, and that's like, I'd rather them start him because they at their core they want to be a transition team. They want to
Yeah,
run.
they do. But
And
Asante, from I don't remember him coming on, to be honest. Like I think I must have switched off. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah,
I don't remember him playing
Yeah.
because I like Ayew has such a, obviously you recognize him, has been in the game for a long time,
Mhm.
but I don't remember Asante being good. I just remember your wing when Nuama came on, like your team woke up.
Yeah.
It just woke up automatically. But yeah, you bringing back Semenyo coming in. I
Yeah.
think Nuama should start for
Agreed.
sure. At this point, he 100% has to start. And because the good thing, Semenyo can play both right and left wing.
Yes.
You can just adapt to which. But I think Nuama plays both wings too. So
Yes.
they could just, as the game goes, they
yeah.
can adapt.
They have their choice of wingers for sure. It's just getting the right combination for them.
How about
And
Sulemana? Because he's been meh.
he was meh. He was meh for
Yeah.
me because he's like the way that he plays. And this is a conversation I had with him even in 2022, which was they don't have enough ball distributors. A lot of their wingers, and even Caduce to a degree, wants to carry and dribble and then come inside and do that. And so on a team, there's almost because there's no Caduce, no one's really deferring the ball to him. And so it almost feels as if there's like to use a basketball but a Raptors analogy. When Kawhi left, and all of a sudden there was like 30 shots available, and all of a sudden Siakam and Van Vliet are putting up all the shots that are there. It feels like something like that. The only difference is I would say Suleimana hasn't been his year was poor, and so him coming in and trying to just fill in that void is not doing it well. And the problem for him is he may have the trust of some coaches, but there's enough wingers options that if he's struggling, okay, put Iñaki out there. If he's struggling, put Ernest out there. Like they have options at like moving the ball forward on the wings. It won't be my issue with them. It'll be the middle. Right.
Did Iñaki play that game? He must have joined late, right?
Yeah, he came in the last 15 minutes.
Okay. At that point, I think I'd switched off. I think I moved on to another game.
Oh,
because it was poor. Because you guys scored, and then because Nuama was a part of that.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay, good. But then the game kind of like petered out to a certain extent. And then I left. But then I found out that Wales equalized at the last minute. Yeah. But yeah, you guys looked. But I still think you guys are better than Panama, in my opinion. Like Panama are a good squad, but I don't think that.
Look, talent-wise, we should be, but have you seen us? Like how they play hasn't put any level of confidence into me. It just they just look like they're sleepwalking the whole time. And so a team like Panama, who I know will be tactically set, a team like Panama, who may not have the talent at the level,
but a good team.
Yes, they'll get Ghana. Unless like you have a moment where it's like everything's not going, you put Ernest in, and then Ernest decides in the second half, like, yeah, okay, we're gonna go get this brace here and turn the game around, and you guys should be good. Like that's the only saving grace. It'll be moments of individual brilliance versus how the team looks. Gotcha. Because all I'm looking for Carlos Koresh is just can we get a defense a little bit more disciplined, right? And it sucks when you could argue you're down your 3 of your best defenders. You could argue that, right? And so that's to me what I'll be looking for them. But I'm not walking into this thinking, oh, Ghana's making the quarters. I think it'll definitely be a team that I have to base and just gauge game by game, because I know they'll be up for the England game, but You have to earn that. And England, how they're playing may not look as good, but it's still maybe a better structured side. England versus Ghana might just be an ugly game where both sides are kind of like.
I think that's going to be an ugly game. Yeah. I think all of England's games are going to be ugly.
Structurally going to be ugly.
Yeah, because they don't play like it's what I feel like Tuchel has done is he's built a really defensive team. Mm-hmm. That team is a team that you can't beat easily. Mm-hmm. So and the fact that he's taken guys who are good at pens, like Gordon is good at penalties, Jude obviously, Kane obviously. Mm-hmm. I don't know how good Madueke is, to be fair, but Saka, who would obviously start, Saka's good at penalties. So, like, I think he's taken a team that understands very well you're not going to be able to beat them. So, but at least they also don't look like they'll steamroll teams either.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting. I think, as we said, the only problem is Ghana doesn't have a good defense. So I can still see them beating you 2-0, but it's not like a convincing 2-0. It's going to be a hard-fought 2-0.
Yeah. That's where the struggle will be from there. Panama plays.
I feel for Semenyo, though, because let's be honest, and I know as you're a Ghanaian and it sucks, but genuinely, if he had stayed with his selection of sticking with the UK, England, sorry, not the UK, England.
Yeah.
If he had stuck with England, I think he starts for England. I think he's selected for England.
Maybe probably based off of his form, but like they got.
I think it's better than. You're telling me Madueke went? There's no way.
No, I agree with that.
He benches Madueke easily. He'd actually be giving Saka a run for his money because Saka hasn't been good all season. Yeah. Historically very good, but you guys are very lucky to have Semenyo, I would say.
Yeah,
very lucky.
We got him early.
yeah, that was clever.
We're just like, it's like we're getting this League One guy. Oh, he's in the championship. Oh,
you got him while his stocks were low.
Oh, for sure. Oh, we wealth simpled that really well. One of the best Ghanaian recruit. Like, yes, we failed to get like all the Dutch players. Yes, we failed to get all the other players, but we got Antoine. That's the only thing that
But who in the Netherlands would you have gotten?
Oh, they try like years. They try to get Brobe. They try to get Frimpong. They tried to get Gakpo. Like all of them were just like, nah, we're getting in this orange. But thank you still.
Oh yeah. But Gakpo would mess you guys up. He could play striker though. He would play striker for you guys.
True.
But Jordan Ayew. But the problem is,
yeah,
Jordan would still start regardless.
Yeah,
they'd force him on the left wing, which is where he played for Liverpool. But still.
We'd find out that Erling Haaland has Ghanaian blood in him. He'd come to the team. Jordan still starts. It doesn't matter. Like, it's the.
I think Haaland might be the only one who could at least tell them.
Have you seen that?
No, Jordan would say we have to play the two of us. Like Sulemana would, Okay, so do you think Sulemana starts?
I don't think he should. I think he's better off the pitch when you need.
No. I know you don't think he should, but does he?
This coach has had this full roster for one game. I don't know what to expect. All I know,
it's Kuros. It's his. Oh yeah.
The only thing I know is Jordan starting at 9. That's the only thing. Anything else he does could be a surprise. But I think Jordan with the armband is starting, and I pray to everything that he only goes 45. I pray to everything as he tries.
He might shock you. He might shock you.
He can't shock me anymore. He cannot shock me anymore.
He might shock you in the sense that he might be good enough in that. Like, again, we're talking about all these other players. Like, I rate Fatau. I've rated Fatau for a long time, but he's been so poor this season.
Yeah. Like,
exceptionally poor. And I think a lot of the things, even what Maxwell was saying earlier, like, experience is a big factor in these tournaments. And it's not shocking that almost all the big teams have gone with experienced players. All of them.
because and that's the thing where if I'm going to put on my most optimistic hat, I'll say a player like him, who the one thing that it does that drives me insane, but he'll do it. He'll
Mhm.
hold up. He'll try to have good hold up play, draw a foul to start some
Something.
build up
Yeah.
in a tournament that is not going to be fast paced,
Mhm.
right? In a tournament that's going to be slow, trudging, a free
Yeah.
kick to take your breath and reset might
Mhm.
be what you need.
And let's be honest, with the heat and
Yes.
the water breaks and all that kind of, people are going to break.
Yes.
Injuries are going to be a really big thing this World Cup.
Mhm.
So I'm not shocked if a lot of people end up a lot of, especially the teams that have runners.
Mhm.
Like, I'm actually looking at certain teams that their entire setup is, we're just going to outrun you.
Mhm.
This might be the World Cup that you just can't do that
Mhm.
because your team might just break.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, I fully agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Fully agree with that. Before you,
Like,
yeah,
but I have to hop off. I've got
yeah, I
a-
know, I know. Quick prediction for today: opening match, South Africa and Mexico.
I think there's no way Mexico loses this. No way. And if they do, this would be a crazy start of the World Cup. Like, genuinely, I'd be so
Yeah.
shocked if they lose this. Not to say anything, I rate South Africa. I think South Africa are a very good team.
Mhm.
I think they play very, very good football. They will not struggle with the heat in the same way Mexico will not struggle with the heat.
But the altitude.
The altitude, yeah, like, I think South Africa will play very well, but
Mhm.
Mora's going to start, right? Or do you think he won't?
I think he will.
Yeah, Mora would probably start. I think Mora's one of the people that we should look at in this tournament, because I know a lot of big teams are looking at him. So I expect him to really, really come out and show that he's the next big thing. So I would argue Mexico beat them 2-0, because South Africa miss a lot of chances. They make a lot of chances. They miss a
Yes.
crap load of them. So 2-0 probably.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2-1 if I'm being kind to them, but
Mhm.
two
No,
goals for sure.
That's where I'm at too. I feel like
Yeah.
if South Africa had I love you, Lyle Foster, but if you could, finish at
Yeah.
one point,
Yeah.
that's the difference between South Africa making an AFCON finals or making deep runs, because
Mm.
they outplayed Nigeria in the semis in 21.
Dude, they outplayed them.
Outplayed.
But here's the truth. Even in the AFCON, I don't think there was a single team that outplayed South Africa. They play really good football until they get to the final third, and you can literally see them go, what do we do here? It's like they forget. And what's crazy to me is South Africa have one of the best African striking coaches
Mhm.
out there, who's the Kenyan coach, by the way.
Yeah, Benny.
Yeah,
Benny.
Benny McCarthy. It's crazy. If I'm the South African FA, I call the Kenyan FA and say, hey, listen, we just need Benny to teach these guys how to finish for like 3 months. We'll take him on loan for 3 months. He comes back. Get Benny there.
Mhm.
Help them. Like, they have everything except the final touch.
Yeah.
And by the way, this could be the World Cup that it works, but we saw it at AFCON. We expect, you and I had them rated really highly,
Yeah.
and they kind of fell out because they couldn't finish. So I think they're going to create chances against Mexico. They just won't finish, and their defense isn't that good. So I think Mexico will be able to.
Yeah.
So I think. What do you think? What's your take?
No, I think it's the same thing. I think 2-0, 2-1, if I'm being very complimentary. It's
complimentary to him. Yeah.
They are everything but a finish. They're butterface.
Yeah.
Everything's good butterface. Like, everything else is there.
Damn. I like that. I'm going to steal that going forward.
The mid 2000s call. They like but that's the problem with them. They will play well, and like Mexico will be defense first, and then they'll try to hit Quinones.
They'll hit them on the counter.
Yeah.
And the problem is South Africa will actually play to their strengths.
Yes.
They'll think that they'll get the energy.
Mhm.
And by the way, like, it's going to be a hostile environment too. That's also the part that Mexico will have. It's going to be a terrible team to play.
Yes.
Because if you're playing in Mexico, it's going to be loud. It's going to be the only place, in my opinion, that will have a really raucous fan base, which
and
it's going to feel like a World
purely
Cup.
one-sided fan base.
Yeah, and this is really telling. FIFA aren't dumb. FIFA knew that they had to start the game in Mexico because it has to feel like a World Cup game.
Yes,
it has to. And even if it's played in the US, they know that there's enough Mexicans there that it will feel like a World Cup game. But like the rest of the other games, it's like, dude, I didn't even realize that at 10 p.m. South Korea play Czech.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
It's just there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean. That's if you're tuning into that, at least it's like, okay, but this looks like an actual World Cup game.
Yeah, right? That's going to be a World Cup game, 100%. Sure. Yeah, and they faced each other a few times, haven't they?
Yeah,
Mexico and South Africa.
Yeah, they opened themselves. This is the opening match of 2010.
Of 2010. Yeah, I remember that. That's what I was like, and they drew, no?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So you know what? It could be a draw, but I don't think so. I think Mexico. I think they're going to spank them.
They should.
They should. I hope they do, because I want the energy.
Yes.
Like I want Mexico to get out of their group, so that you can still have a team. The South American bloc, I think, will show up. So I just want to have games that feel like games, because
for sure.
Europeans are not. I watched a video about like a bunch of Europeans didn't show up or haven't traveled. So
a bunch of people have, like, again, this World Cup will have, once the ball is kicked, we can actually talk about football, but everything leading up to it is like, we've talked more about refused visas, deportations.
Wait. Did you talk about what happened with the Senegal team and Uzbekistan team?
My God, I haven't even touched it, but it's there.
Okay.
It's like, you can't, that's the only saving grace you have, but you can't ignore the rest of it. You can't refuse Omar, who got, supposed to be refereeing.
The Somali ref. Referee. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, but again, when most of the games are there, and I said this to the Max earlier, I think the way that FIFA set this up, especially with their what's it called, with their resale market, I would not surprise me. Right, the resale portal, it will not surprise me if they've already made close to, if not the same amount, because just with more games, based off of what they get a cut from all the resales on their platform. This was all financial.
But that's FIFA though. But FIFA's always been financial.
Oh, of course.
But I don't know if you know this. None of the games have been sold out yet.
Yeah,
none of them. That's crazy. Like, we have a game in Canada playing, and that game isn't sold out yet. Tickets, you can still buy tickets right now.
Yep. Bosnians apparently are finding these places.
But I saw that a bunch of ticket prices have actually gone down for the smaller teams. Like, you can buy a ticket for like $90 now for some of the games, not all of them though. True. None of the Canadian ones.
But that's what I was expecting, and that's why I'm like, if I'm going to go to a game, it'll probably be match day 2 after all the opening games where they look like they're 2/3 filled, maybe half. Like it'll be.
But FIFA's so sketchy. I guarantee they're going to put people in the stadium to make it look like it was full. To make it look full, but essentially. They'll try and still maintain a way to inflate prices, because it's clear they've ignored what everybody said. These prices are too expensive.
No, but they took advantage of the North American event-based resale. That's why they made their own portal. That's why they made their own reselling portal, right? And so it's dumb. I mean, add that to the list of Uzbekistan, what happened to them, Senegal getting strip searched. Apparently nobody online loved it more than Moroccan fans. They're just like, this is what you get. I'm like, guys, relax.
I'm like, you guys aren't that far, buddy. Just wait. If you think the US likes Moroccans, I've got another thing to tell you. You're about to find out.
It's like, have your moment. I'm legally forced to say that they won 3-0. But like,
dude, if they did that to the national teams, you think ICE isn't gonna do stuff to you when you're leaving the games? Buddy,
and that's the thing. Like, it's like, why would I want to go to a game when I know that you've probably spent all your funds to say, no, just hang by at the games. We'll go to those. Yeah, we'll just hang out. Yeah.
We'll spend all our money. Yeah.
That's why half the people don't want to go. But yeah,
I do have to drop off. I've got my meeting.
No, for sure. But yeah, I'll be back here on this channel 9 p.m. Eastern every night for the World Cup.
So tonight you'll be there 9 p.m.
Yeah, I'll be there tonight to do that recap. But yeah, I'm gonna hop on another stream for that. I'll put that into the community post. But guys, thank you for being here. It's been fun. I hope you enjoyed the first take section in the middle. It was great.
That's what I do.
Yes, it's what you do. It is what you do. But no, I'm glad y'all figured it out.
No. We were agreeing. Aggressively.
There was aggressive
negotiation. I was actually finding it funny that we're both saying the same thing, but in different ways.
Yes.
Yes. All right, man. I have to drop off though.
Yeah, man. Take care, guys. We'll be back tonight, and as always, we'll end the stream right here. See you guys tonight.